You've worked hard to earn and save. Now it's time to make your money work hard for you. This is Empower Your Retirement with Frank and Frankie Guida of A Better Way Financial.
Frank, you guys are talking all the time on this radio program about how there is phase one, financial planning, and that's your growth years. What you focus on is phase two. You got to take the nest egg now and make it distribute and create income in retirement. It's an entirely different financial perspective we got to take.
Absolutely.
And I am glad that you guys are here to help us with that perspective, because apparently there's not many of you around.
No, there's not. You know, all these big box companies, that's not their focus. Their focus is on accumulating wealth, accumulating money.
Growing
that's what they're trying to do.
Growing during our working years.
It's a whole new ball game when you come to retirement.
Yeah. And you got to have a plan, and you really do. You have to have a perspective shift for this next phase of life, but it can be difficult finding somebody to help you out, help you figure this out. As pointed out by one columnist at Bloomberg News, she wrote an article because she has lots of interactions with financial advisors, and her article was pointing out that these advisors themselves are admitting, quote, "We don't know how to solve the retirement problem." And the writer contends that, isn't this the job of a financial advisor, to have some answers? However, according to her, they're failing in three specific areas. One, people have no idea how much money they need to retire. Two, life expectancy has not changed that much, but people believe they need 50% more money now than they did just 4 years ago. And also, three, the confidence level of people believing they'll have a successful retirement has plummeted. So what's the problem here, guys?
The problem is they're not dealing with retirement planners, people who are doing this day in and day out. Yeah. If you go to one of the big box companies, what are they going to do? They're going to try and help you invest your money, but they're not going to take into account taxes. How could you not take into account taxes? They're just as important as the return you're getting on your money. They're very, very important. If you got to pay so much more in taxes, boom, there goes your profits. There goes your, what you're making. You don't want to do that. And then, a lot of people are looking at, the average age is, let's say it's 82 that people pass away. Okay, so I should plan to 82. No.
Absolutely not.
No, right, Noah? If the average age is 82, that means like half the people are dying before 82. What are the half people doing at 82?
Living and kicking.
Living, exactly. So we need to make sure that you're covered beyond that point. Unless you got a fatal, God forbid, a really bad health situation or something like that, we want to make sure that we're planning as long as you're living. We don't want money to run out beforehand.
Absolutely. And in addition to that, we're not just focusing, as Frank mentioned, on one problem, right? You said here, in the article, it says we don't know how to solve the retirement problem. I think that's incredibly laughable, because there's hundreds of problems that can arise in retirement. And we really have to focus on different components of your financial plan and tailor them to your specific needs. What is the best income strategy for you? What is the best investment strategy? Maybe you're too aggressive. Maybe you're too conservative. Also, saving in taxes, tax planning for you and your family. And then lastly, as we were talking about, estate planning. And I'm not surprised people are not confident in retirement.
Sure.
And that's plummeting.
Sure.
The number one problem, in my opinion, is that you don't have a financial plan, as Frank mentioned. It's really that simple. The textbook definition of a financial advisor is someone who provides financial services to clients based on their financial needs. Did you hear the word retirement in there whatsoever?
Right.
No, and that covers a lot. And it doesn't necessarily help you with retirement. As long as they're doing something, some kind of advice financially, they can call themselves a financial advisor. Not true with the words financial planner. You have to have a degree to do that.
Absolutely. And, no one has the crystal ball. That's actually in the other recording studio for me. It's impossible for people to predict how long they're going to live. As Frank mentioned, if you're expecting to live to 82, we shouldn't be planning for 82. Our number one job is to protect you and make sure that you do not run out of money. We need to come together and to decide what the best financial planning age is for you. And the financial planning age may change over time. There may be tougher years where there may be a diagnosis or maybe there's recovery and celebration, right? There are many different strategies that we can use to reduce risk in retirement. Maybe protecting yourself from any health concerns with long-term care or creating a tax-efficient bucket of money that allows you to self-fund any of these issues, right? There's not just one problem in retirement. And that's why it's so important to work with a fiduciary retirement financial planning team that can look at all different areas of retirement. We are here to help you through this process. So contact us by calling 610-440-3722. That's 610-440-3722. Or you can visit us at abetterwayfinancial.com.
Noah, that kind of reminds me of the couple that came in from Easton, 66 years old. I think she was like 62.
Yes.
And they've been saving for decades, and they built up a portfolio of $1.3 million, nice size portfolio for their retirement. And they were really concerned, though, that they didn't have enough and that they wouldn't be able to afford the things that they wanted to afford in retirement. But then we went to work for them, didn't we?
Absolutely. They were used to spending about $65,000 per year. Now, they came to me and they talked about different ways that they can save in retirement, maybe downsize, going to a lower cost area of living. They were really big Iron Pigs fans, and they said, you know what, we could potentially reduce the amount of times that we go out each year. You name it. But by developing a financial plan, we were actually able to show them living on $30,000 more than they were currently living on.
So that's $95,000. They were going to live on how much?
Just 65.
65.
Wow.
And we were able to do all the things to show them how they could actually live on $95,000. $30,000 more. So they went from, oh my God, I don't know if I can go out to eat. I don't know if I could go see the Iron Pigs anymore to oh, what can we do now?
Yeah. The conversation quickly changed.
Sure.
Well, maybe should we be planning a trip to Rome? I mean, it was an incredible thing to witness.
That's nice.
And that's really what we do here at A Better Way Financial. Maybe you have different stresses about different areas of your retirement. Maybe you feel stronger in some areas and weaker in others. And that's why it's so important to come seek help from a financial planning company that can create a comprehensive financial plan that's tailor-made for you. Can we spend $65,000? Or maybe can we increase it to $95,000? Wouldn't you want to know that number, Frank?
Oh my God. It makes such a difference to know what you can live on. There are folks out there. This is the Lehigh Valley. There are all kinds of folks here. We have some folks that, they actually think they have more than they have.
No, this is true.
And they're overspending.
Yes.
You know what? And it's important to rein that in a little bit, for those folks and to say, no, this is what you can actually afford to live on. Let's make a lifestyle that we can feel good about and feel comfortable about on this type of income. But for a lot of more folks here in the Lehigh Valley, they can live on so much more. And to be able to know that when they're still in their go-go years, instead of their slow-go years or their no-go years, that these are years, that you want to enjoy, that you want to go and travel. You want to do the things that you want to do. You want to spend that time with family. You want to really have fun. And by knowing that you can possibly live on $10,000 more a year, $20,000 more, 30,000, whatever that number is, to be able to enjoy that. You've worked for it. If you're sitting out there and you don't really know how much you can live on in retirement, whether you're not retired yet or if you are retired, give us a call, 610-440-3722. That's 610-440-3722, or visit us at abetterwayfinancial.com.
Thanks for listening to Empower Your Retirement with Frank and Frankie Guida. To learn more, visit abetterwayfinancial.com.
By contacting us, we'll review aspects of your retirement portfolio to include suggestions about how best to utilize estate, tax, and retirement planning strategies and other financial services, or if changing management styles is appropriate for your specific needs and objectives. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendations to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate, and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. A Better Way Financial is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. Annuity guarantee guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Any client experiences discussed during this show are unique to that client, and they are not meant to imply or suggest you will experience the same results. Advisory services offered through A Better Way Financial. Insurance offered through licensed professionals at A Better Way Financial. Pennsylvania Insurance License number 301779.